So this is another request from our great friend of the channel, Travis Cook. Travis gave four suggestions recently of players he felt that we should cover, and I tend to agree. Please listen for the other podcasts on Dollard, Saint Laurent, Ron Ward, and Doug Carpenter. But today we're going to talk about probably one of the most underrated goalies of his generation. I hope I'm pronouncing this right because I've always had trouble with his name. Marcel Paille, or Paille, depends English or French translation. Now, Joseph Marcel Raja Paille, or Paille, born December 8, 1932, was a very, very great goaltender who hailed from the beautiful community of Shawinigan Falls, Quebec. Now, he was known for his great play in the AHL, but his career on the ice lasted so long and so successfully at the minor pro level, we forget the fact that he did have seasons in the NHL which were somewhat, not say successful, but should be recognized. Now he became again to major providence with the beautiful squad, the Quebec Citadels of the QJP JHL, and in '53, his last season, he played in 48 games with significant numbers for a young goalie. Now, he first again came on the minor pro level with the Chicoutimi Saguenay of the QHL in '56, playing 60 games. Ended up with the Cleveland Barons in the AHL in '57, playing in 62 contests. Now, this is where his relationship with the Providence Reds, who he's kind of a legend in Providence, because he played so many seasons with them in the '60s. He first played with Providence in the AHL in '58, but did have enough time to get in 41 games. But he also played 33 games for the Rangers in the regular season. In that campaign, his rookie season, he had 11 wins, 15 losses, and 7 ties. So Marcel can be best described as an all-star player who never found a permanent home in the New York system and other systems, despite the fact he was very strong in all aspects of his game. Now, over the years, he won many awards and achievements. He was a QJHL second All-Star team for 3 consecutive years from '51 to '53. He was a top rookie in the QHL in '56, the William Northey Trophy. He was AHL second All-Star team in '57 and '60. AHL first All-Star team, 59, 61, and 62. He won the Hap Holmes Memorial Award for the lowest goals against average in the AHL, 61 and 62. He was a WHL second All-Star team in '64. Now, the AHL records he hold would choke a horse because he really played his heart out in the AHL. Most career AHL games, 765. Most playoff games by an AHL goaltender, 87. Most playoff wins by a goaltender, 49. Longest AHL playoff shutout streak at 207 minutes and 27 seconds. And most AHL playoff minutes played at 5,368. Ladies and gentlemen, durability like you wouldn't believe. But getting back with the time with the Rangers, he played 70 games at Buffalo in '59, 1 game for the Rangers in the regular season. He split time between New York and Springfield in 1960, getting into, ladies and gentlemen, 74 total games. 74 games. He was 6-9-2 with the Rangers, and in 57 games at Springfield at a .321 average. Again, a lot of games in 61. 71 total for the Rangers, 67 in Springfield. 62, again, another call up to the Rangers, 10 games and 45 with Springfield. He moved on to the Clippers in Baltimore, 41 games, 3 games with the Rangers and 63. Now, he ended up with the original Vancouver Canucks, as I mentioned, played 70 games in 64. He also played a few games with the Denver Invaders in the WHL playoffs. Now, his best season in the NHL came in '65, where he played in 39 games and he had a 10-21-7 record with a .358 average. But this is where, ladies and gentlemen, his time with the Providence squad broke all the records. Between 1966 and 72, ladies and gentlemen, he was playing between 40 and 60 games a season. The average was tremendous. All but one were under 4. Best seasonal average, again, in my opinion, was 1970, where he had a 3.55 average in 62 contests. Now, with the expansion of Major Pro to the WHA, we figured he was going to get a chance in a new league, and that's what happened. He had 15 games with the Blazers in 1973 with a 2-8 record. He was augmenting Bernie Perron between the pipes, but it eventually was not meant to be. He was back in the minors with the Richmond Robins the next season, and he ended his career with 21 games with that very beloved squad. So Marcel was someone that we thought was going to go into coaching, although he still gave back in the game. But unfortunately, his life was cut short. I'm seeing a trend here. There was an awful lot of strain of cancer that was going on amongst Quebecois hockey players. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Marcel. He died at age 69, still a young age, because he was still giving back to hockey as a motivator and as a role model. He died of cancer in Quebec City in 2002. So the time with the New York Rangers was indicative of the fact he was very durable. He ended up with 107 NHL games with a 32, 52, and 22 record, with a very respectable 3.42. But you look at the stats, it was very common for goalies to play 70 games the full season. But he was putting in more than 70 games in combination play between the AHL and the NHL. And there was no Gatorade or water bottles back then like there is now. It's too bad I never had a chance to interview him. I would ask him right away, what did you use to get so much energy to play all these games? And the Rangers of the 1960s, they were building as a squad. That 65 season, if you really look at his teammates, I mean, they had a good squad. I mean, they had Gilbert, they had Rick Hatfield, Camille Henry was playing, Donnie Marshall was there, Jean Bertel, Bobby Nevin. I mean, I don't know exactly why that team only won 20 games that year, but they had a lot of talent in my view. But what was pretty weird with the Rangers, he was mentored by the great Jacques Plante. And Jacques Plante had said in published reports, playing with Marcel meant that was one of the few francophone combinations in NHL history where two goalies from Quebec were, stopping most of the pucks. But like I said, I wonder, if he would have been a permanent backup in the NHL, would some of the teams he played for be better? I think he would have been a prototypical, like Brian Hayward style backup. Can play 30 games, good on the angles, good on the bench altogether. But I still, my dad always told me about that. The Rangers in the mid '60s, they should have had a lot better team, because any team that has Rattel, Gilbert, and Vicky Hatfield and only win 20 games, it can't be the goalies. It's probably the other line mates that are causing that. So, anyway, thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen, and keep an eye out for future podcasts. We enjoyed them, and we hope you enjoyed them. Have a good day.